How can top leaders lead change in a company that has been successful in the past, but needs to evolve into a conscious business?
If they are at the CEO level, then they have the power to act. They have the power to make a difference. I have found typically that unless you're there, this kind of change cannot emanate from the middle or from the bottom. You have to have a leader whose consciousness elevates to that level of thinking about the business, who can recognize that even though things look okay today, right? There's an expression called dead man walking. This is for people on death row, right? I mean, it's alive, but we know what's coming, right? There are many dead companies walking. And there are companies that we know the world of corporate history. We can look at Digital Equipment Corporation, what happened to them. We can look at Nokia, what happened to them recently, and many others, BlackBerry and so forth. So those are technological disruptions that destroyed them. But there are also other forms of change that are happening in the world that are causing the traditional companies to be dangerously out of sync. They are simply not in harmony with where the world is. And for the short term, they look okay, but sooner or later a competitor will come along that is in harmony with what people want and need today, right? And this company will suddenly, it'll be like going off a cliff. So one thing that a leader has to do is create a healthy sense of, I don't want to call it paranoia, but I want to call it, a lack of complacency. That yes, things look good today, but you have to be able to hold up the mirror and say, here's the reality of, what's happening in the world, and recognizing, a leader is somebody who can see, beyond the horizon and see what's coming, and recognizing the change that's necessary. The good news is, and I'm working with leaders like that, once the leader sees it, making the change at a company in this direction is not as difficult as other kinds of changes, because these are changes that first of all empower people, right? Ordinary employees of the company get more empowered. Secondly, it gives them, starts with a discovery of purpose, like what is our reason for being, why do we exist? So it gives people a sense of renewed purpose in their work, and therefore increases engagement and passion and creativity and all of that. It gives them relevance into the future. It puts people at the center. This philosophy is about people at the center, profits being a way to serve people, not people as a way to create profit. And so I think what I have found is that there's very little resistance. Initially there might be some skepticism and cynicism because people have been promised many things over time, and many things don't work. But this particular type of change is one that is in harmony with human nature. It's what people inherently want. Everybody wants meaning and purpose in their life. Everybody wants to have work where they look forward to going to work, where they don't have heart attacks that go up on Monday morning, all the bad things that happen to work. If we can change the culture in that way, have a sense of purpose, give people responsible freedom, I think this change is very natural. It's in harmony with human nature, and therefore it has a much higher chance of succeeding. But it starts with the leader awakening to the higher consciousness that not only is the old way not going to work as a pragmatic understanding, but also having some kind of motivation to say, we need to be doing the right things for the right reasons. We need to take care of people because it's important that people should have good lives. Not because if we provide that, then they will be more productive and innovative, and therefore they will work harder or they will be more effective. That's true, but if you do it for that reason, like some CEOs will come to us and they look at the performance data, which are data, but there's many other sources of data now that show the performance consequences. And they say, okay, we want to become a conscious business because it outperforms. And I say, if that's the only reason you want to do this, then maybe it won't work. Because you have to do the right things for the right reasons. You have to put people at the center because people should be at the center, not just because you think. Otherwise, it's not authentic, and people feel they're being manipulated again. So it all boils down to the consciousness of leaders, and that's where your work here is very important. You guys are pioneers in that.